Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Now, today is Monday, December 29th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a overcast, cold, and chilly day here in Austin, Texas, and I am going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger is going to be covering a range of important topics with a special focus on trading small cap stocks, including why he decided to launch a small cap trading service, the major differences between large caps and small caps, why technical indicators don't work on small caps. He's also going to share his process for finding, confirming, and placing small cap trades. He's going to include the 5 confirmation signals that are needed to confirm price action, whether you're trading small caps or large caps. This is a universal application here. And then finally, folks, time permitting, he is going to share his top and bottom stocks that he's looking at right now, and it might include a small cap. Anyway, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with his presentation. Secondly, folks, the chat is open to everyone. So remember, we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Number 2, please keep to the topic. Number 3, no political discussions allowed whatsoever. Also, folks, please keep your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us can focus on the education and the information that Roger is sharing, because after all, he's taking time out of his day to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, for those of you that were with us this morning at 8 o'clock for Roger's pre-market briefing, you will note that there were several catalysts that we needed to be aware of today. Number 1, the MAGs, NVIDIA and Tesla in particular, were both down over 1% coming into the open. We also noted in the chip sector that Micron, Marvell, and AMD were also all down over 1%. On the energy side, crude oil prices were up about 2%, and that was having a positive impact on energy stocks. And on the Fed front, we noted that there were 2 reports scheduled to come out today: pending home sales, which came out more robust than planned, and crude oil inventory. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what is the purpose of these catalysts? Well, from Roger's perspective, anytime there's information that is known or will become known during the trading session, but is not yet priced into the market, that is the definition of a catalyst. It's a volatility hotspot that we just need to be aware of as we consider potentially taking trades with stocks that might be associated with these sectors or on the information that is coming out. Now, as far as Roger's large cap watch list is concerned, we note that he gave us 24 tickers to take a look at today, 7 shorts and 17 longs. Now, once again, folks, these are all legitimate opportunities that are in process. In other words, they're not ready for prime time yet, but each and every one of them have the potential to become a stock that Roger decides that he wants to trade. And when that happens, more than likely, these will end up being alerts that go into his trading pit or into any of his other alert services that he offers. The thing that you have to remember, though, is that they're not ready for prime time yet. They are on a watch list. And when Roger issues these tickers, what I really like is he goes through each one. I mean, he shows the chart and he gives a couple of words as to what he's looking for. For example, he'll say, hey, let's take a look at this particular stock. And if it's basically is going to start trading above the 8-day moving average, that's a great opportunity for an A line and a setup that I might look at. But anyway, these were the shorts and the longs that were on his pre-market watch list as we come into the day. Now, as far as his closing comments were concerned, but he shared with us that, look, the futures markets were all down coming into the open. There wasn't any real tailwind from the European or Asian markets to give us any sort of a boost. He also pointed out that the major indexes were stalled at resistance and on pretty low volume. The only index, once again, that was doing the kind of job that he likes was SMH, and that was kind of a standalone on its own. He also pointed out that the bonds still remain relatively low in their range, and as he thought would happen, the VIX is bouncing off of its floor because it tends to be one of those indexes that likes to revert to the mean. He also reminded us all that, folks, it is Monday and we are on a holiday shortened week. There is low volume in the market, and all institutional traders are on vacation and really won't be back in the office until like the second week in January. And as a result of that, if you can remember when Kane was with us last week, he said the tricky part about what's going on in the market right now is that all the volume is being driven by algos, okay, algorithmic trading bots that are just hunting, for shorts and stops to take out. And if there's anybody on the institutional trading desk, they're junior members. And from that perspective, they're not given any permission to generate any volume in the market. So from that standpoint, it's fairly treacherous. His recommendation today, just chill, folks. Don't do anything in the morning. Wait until the afternoon. There might be some opportunities. And his quote of the day was this: people that look to actively trade at this point in time in the year are quote unquote morons. Okay. So those were Roger's words. It's every now and then he gives us quotes that I like to repeat, but that was his recommendation. No time to be a hero. There's no fear of missing out. The markets are on low volume. They're extremely choppy. And those were his recommendations coming into the open. So once again, we have a great group of people that are joining us today. I'm so happy that you all are here because we have an exciting agenda that's been put together. As Roger said, that his focus today is going to be on trading small cap stocks. He's going to share why he decided to launch a small cap trading service. He's going to share with us the major differences between large caps and small cap stocks. He's also going to tell us why technical indicators don't typically work on small cap stocks. And then he's going to take us through his process, step by step, for finding, confirming, and placing a small cap trade. He's also going to share with us in detail the 5 confirming signals that he likes to use to confirm price action. And this is not just for small caps. These are the 5 confirmation signals that you can use when trading small caps or large cap stocks, because a lot of you have been asking the questions, exactly how do you trade around the critical support and resistance lines that you draw every day in the market? What does that mean when you're looking for a bounce off the VWAP? Things of this nature. These are critical confirmation signals, and he's going to share all that with us. And finally, folks, time permitting, he's going to share his top and bottom stocks that he's looking at right now. And don't be surprised if a small cap stock doesn't find its way into that. Once again, this is something that he wants to do for us today. And we're delighted that you're here. We hope everybody had a fabulous Christmas, a nice weekend. Once again, we are in a holiday shortened week. We've got New Year's this week. The markets are going to be open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Bonds are going to be closed Wednesday afternoon. The markets will be closed on New Year's Day, which is the 1st, and they will reopen on Friday. As far as the VIP trade room is concerned, we're going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are going to be taking New Year's Day off. So we're going to be with you 4 days this week, and there's a lot of opportunity for us to share information and education with you, and we certainly do look forward to it. Now, if you've got any questions at all during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window, and we'll make sure that we address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. I also just want to let everyone know that the chat is open to everyone. So remember that we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Also, please keep to the topic. Number three, no political discussions allowed whatsoever. And also, folks, please keep your side conversations to a minimum so that the rest of us don't get distracted and can focus on the education and the information that Roger's going to be sharing. Because after all, he's here to give us an edge and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. So, once again, folks, Roger's going to be with us in just a moment. We're delighted to see you here. We got a great group of people, and it's fantastic to have you here. Not quite sure what people's schedules are like during a holiday. We know that a lot of people are still traveling, enjoying time with friends and family, but we had a great crowd this morning. I think we had over 700 people in the pre-market briefing room, and we've also got a great crowd this afternoon. And with that, folks, let's say hi to Roger. Roger, man, it's great to see you. How are you doing today? And Matt, wonderful to see you. I loved you last week with your Santa Claus cap on. I mean, that was the look. As far as I'm concerned. But Roger, great to see you once again. Holiday shortened week, but it's a great time to get together with folks, share some education, and make sure we keep them out of trouble.
Exactly, exactly. There's a lot of stuff going on. Matt and I are doing some forensic accounting, making sure everything is kosher, making sure that we don't want to make any changes for New Year's, all sorts of things. But it wouldn't be the same without all of you. And thank you, Raleigh, for hosting me yesterday. By the way, that was fantastic. Taking your Sunday off for me, I do appreciate that.
Well,
Very, very
Roger,
nice.
I was delighted to be there because we've been looking at this going back all the way to the 1st of August, and I know you were so excited when you were looking at this opportunity. So to participate in what we'll call the beta testing of this, all everything that we shared with people during the morning briefing, and to see the results and to be a part of that, it was exciting to now share that and the way you have legitimized this program into a very comprehensive service.
Yeah, and we're just getting started. I was telling folks this week we're going to have some getting started sessions and all of that stuff. So it's very exciting, and we're just getting started. And today, one of the things I'm going to talk about is confirmation signals. Now, I'm going to be talking about confirmation signals, and we'll do this a little later in the show. I'll talk about confirmation signals as they apply to this program. But here's the thing. If you use VWAPs and you use large caps, same thing. If you trade breakouts, same thing. So what I'm going to be showing you will apply to no matter what you trade. You trade the SPY or E-mini futures, and you trade my intraday levels. Those levels I give you in the morning they apply to that. So I'm going to kill 10 birds with one stone today. I'm going to teach you one thing that applies to absolutely everything we do. You can apply it to support or confirmation, but I'll just show you longs because it's easier for people to understand longs for some reason. So most people are used to the long side. So what I try to do is I try to teach you guys things that will help you no matter whether you trade small caps, large caps, medium caps, trade futures. I'll show you every type of confirmation methodology. Let me just open up the chat, say hello to everybody, and we will begin. And let me say hello, everyone. There we go. And on YouTube, hello, everybody. On YouTube, it's easy to say hi personally because there's not that many people saying hello to me. But here, there's like 400 and something. So it's a different situation. But I will say hello to everybody on YouTube real quickly. Kevin, Devin, Mark, Ed, Lori, Raj, Naples fan. Greetings. Now here we got a lot of people here. I'll just say this very quickly. We got Jeremiah, Brian, Michael, Frank, Stephen, Wade, Mark, Armin, Maggie. Got a lot of people here. Hopium, Becky, Matt, and if I'm missing you, I'm not. I'm just kind of quickly going through it.
I
Deanna,
think they
Gled.
understand.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. Eagle Beagle's here, and please, folks, post your feedback. To everybody. And is Matt going to speak? I don't know. David. I don't know. It's Matt. Are you going to say anything?
Yeah, I might. We'll see.
There you go.
We'll see. That's $5 right there.
Yeah.
Remember, I gotta pay him for every word. So, hey, greetings, everybody. Whether I'm watching you, if you're on YouTube, I see you and your questions, and if you're here, I'm seeing you as well. So I'm seeing all of you, and I'm really glad that you guys are here. just to give you a little idea of what happened this morning, since I know that we stopped doing the small caps publicly, and now we're doing them privately. Here's my cat Mia. This is what she was doing this morning. This is not AI. This is really the cat. This is what she was doing this morning. And probably when I come home from work, this is exactly the position I'll find her in. All right. She likes those Scottish folds, they all right. So let's go. Where is I got too many trading club. Here it is. All right. So this morning I gave you my watch list. I told you to look for these stocks. Okay. I gave you my watch list for now above. I gave you the levels just like I give you in the mornings, like we've been doing every mornings. I haven't had the getting started session, so just bear with me. I told you that BNI hit pretty good. Not going to chase it, but first profit target is 230. It got hit at 195. We took the first profit target. Then we set our stop loss on it. I wrote here, if you got a bite of it, your first target should have been hit at 230. I gave you the price of the second target. And I don't expect many of you got in this one since it was an official entry. It was just posted here. Now, but then we had a little fun. Then I told you, but if you did take it, here's where to put your stop loss, take a profit and put your stop loss. Now we actually had a signal, an official signal. I said, go long SOPA. We got filled at 317. I gave you your stop loss. And I told you to get out at 330. And that was that for now. So we took 1.5 profits, if you will, depending on whether you took those trades or not. And I'm hoping that some of you did take those trades and make some money. Let's see. Did anybody take those trades? Raleigh, do you know if anybody took those trades?
Oh yeah, there's several people here in the room that are thanking us for that.
Oh, cool.
So
Again,
yeah.
I two hit this morning. Good. All right. Good. Folks did make some money on it. Excellent. All right, Nathan, I took them money. Excellent. Jim, I'm going to have several sessions on all of that stuff. So you'll get all the information. Remember, we haven't had the getting started sessions yet. We're still flying blind. Okay. David says I bought both and NA and SOPA, not much, but all green. But depending on how many shares you do and all that stuff.
Yep.
Art took profit. Good. All right, let's continue. So we're having a little momentum shift. All right. Now, as far as the market, I hate to say I told you so. Here are our intraday levels right here, by the way. You could see them all right here. And here you could see the daily. And you could see there's a strong resist support area right here. And you could see there's an 8-day right here. And it looks like we're heading towards it. Momentum levels, internals meaning, are not looking all that great right now. Mark, once you pay, you get to play.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the chat for you, Raj.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
yep.
that's perfect. So you see Vold is just going straight down today. That's not good. That's not a bullish sign for the market at all. I'm just being honest with you. ADD's now at 878, which is also not a very bullish look for the market. With that said, Alpha Zone Pro looks like, are you still in the long, Matt?
Yeah, we are. We're right in this area where we beat out last time. We'll see.
Okay.
We have a really tight stop and a great entry. So,
okay. Yeah, we do have a good entry right here. So it looks like momentum is shifting to the upside. Hopefully, we'll get some momentum right now to the upside. But again, as I mentioned to you, this is not a time to get extra frisky. This is not a time to trust all the indicators. This is a time to chill and take small size positions. Okay, chill and take small size positions. This is not a time to be a hero. Okay, not a time to be a hero. All right. And remember, to have the new Telegram channel, you have to join the program. Please reach out to customer service for that. Now, let me show you guys a few things that bother me. Okay, there are a few things here that bother me. And we'll be talking about more about how to join the program in about 45 minutes. Excuse me. Here's what certain things that bother me. First off, SMH, it's already at the 50-day moving average. Mags are almost below the 8-day. Not really great. Not really, really great. Not really good at all. Okay. So please, please, please be mindful of all of this. This is not a great place to be. Now, this morning I mentioned momentum levels to you. Okay. Yeah, that's the big problem right now. Look, look at how many stocks are making 3-month highs. 38 stocks, Raleigh.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. And look how many stocks are making 90-day lows. 32. You're in holiday time right now, folks. Right? You're in holiday time right now, folks. This is not a time to be to be honest with you, I was really shocked that we even had those two small hits today. But there's no momentum right now. This is not a high this is not a high momentum this is not a high momentum period. Okay? So please, folks, please, 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 please don't look to be aggressive right now. Don't look to be huge traders right now. Don't. This is not the time. All right. So, and again, if you have any questions, please, please hold on to them, and then I'll stop in a few minutes, and we can answer them, and then we'll move forward from there. So that's where the market is. There's not a lot of momentum. Now I'm going to show you stocks that I'm looking at right now. Yeah, let's look at volume on the SPY. You could see right now there's 20 million on the SPY. Average volume is what, 80 million? Not good. Not good at all. And funny enough, if you look at SMH 34%, RSP 25%, QQQ 30%, we're not even at 50%. So this is definitely not a time to be frisky, okay, with the market. Sometimes being defensive is really good. As I said, I was actually really surprised we had those two small hits because last week, Raleigh, remember, it was like pulling teeth from those small caps.
Yeah, it was.
And also, like, folks, if I want you guys to understand something. When volume is low, volume and price go hand in hand. When volume is low, price loses its rhythm. It's like watching somebody dance in slow motion. It doesn't look that great. So price doesn't mean much. Seasonality goes out the window. Nothing, everything is like this. Like this. There's no movement. There's no movement, okay? There's no movement right now. It usually doesn't pick up till the second week in January. Just letting you know. Just telling you the truth.
Yeah, and for that reason, Roger, I know that you mentioned this morning that when it comes to seasonality or whatnot, you tend to look the other way during this point in time because without volume, it's difficult to basically make a strong trade with conviction.
Yeah, because you're looking at random data and you're trying to make a non-random decision.
Yeah.
You guys understand you're looking at randomness and you're trying to okay, let's just back up for a second. If you look at random data points, right, you will never be consistent because you're not looking at consistent data. So you have to look at consistent data to be consistent. I think everybody understands what I'm saying right now, right? Unless you're having like, oh, I never thought of it that way. But right, you need to have an edge. Once you have an edge, you can rely on that data, that data that gives you the edge so that you can make money. But if you don't have an edge, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So right now you're trading without an edge. Think about this. Do you think Las Vegas would be open for 1 second if they lost their edge?
No.
For 1 second. For 1 second if they lost their edge? No.
Mm-mm.
If you could take the limit off the table in a roulette, do you think Las Vegas would have the roulette table for 1 second? No. They'd be out of business because you could just keep adding money to it. You understand? So that all right. They don't need to cheat. That's the thing. They don't need to cheat. They have a huge edge. Okay, now let me give you stocks. They don't need the last thing they need to do is cheat. They have to make sure you don't count cards. That's their edge.
Yeah, that's the Reds. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you guys some stocks to the short side that I like. I'm going to show you guys some long stocks, and then I'm going to get into answering some really cool questions. And I'm going to show you guys 5 ways to make confirmations. And I'll show you how I came up with this. And you guys are in for a treat. Only took me about 6 months to get it done. Looking at price data, looking at about 1,000 charts. TSCO to the short side. I like this to the. Please take every stock I give you right now with a grain of salt that I gave you before. Okay, that markets are choppy. There's not a lot of stuff. You only want to find stuff with high volume. The beautiful thing about those small caps is they're having a once in a lifetime event, whatever that event may be. So we don't have to really worry about that. Okay. Okay. We're doing good on time actually today. Bull. What is bull? Oh, Webull. I wanted to ask you guys, please, I don't want to make a big deal out of this. Does anybody use this company? And on a scale of how are your fills and your experience with them? If I don't want to like post it publicly, I'm thinking of changing one of my accounts to them just to try them out. And I just want to get some feedback from you guys. It mostly works fine. don't use it. Don't do. No, I don't. Friendly really dislikes them. Okay, well, this is good feedback.
Yeah.
When
I like
somebody
that
says
mostly works well. That'd
mostly
be
works
like,
fine, it's
how'd
not,
you like to
yeah,
board
that's
an airplane and it mostly
mostly
lands?
works fine. Yeah, it mostly works fine. Just started to use lately. Everyone at Trustpilot. Yeah, I don't trust Trustpilot. Terrible for time spreads. Okay, that's good. Oh, because I do a lot of time spreads. Okay, slow on fills. Okay, great feedback. No, don't. Okay. Thank you. Okay, got it. Understood. I'm just looking for feedback on that. Yeah. Tradier's fine. I just wanted to kind of get it, just wanted to see if anybody has a opinion. Sorry, no, this is something I'm asking for me, not like I'm not trying to teach you guys anything. I'm curious if you guys have any experience with it. Yeah, I see the feedback isn't that fantastic. Not the best, but good for early morning trades before I can use my Fidelity. Okay. All right. All right. So let's continue. The reason I brought it up is because I just saw this and it's been on my mind last few days. So I thought this was a good opportunity. I like this stock for a short. Again, volume. If you look at volume intraday, it's okay. It's not bad, actually. Not a bad stock. Moo, yeah. Pool. Looks very nice. Lucid. Remember Lucid? I don't like it for an intraday, but I do like it for a swing. Okay. Cracker Barrel. Nice bearish. ARQQ. Very nice. These are all really nice shorts for swings, not for day trades. I like this for a short, GNRC. Needs a little more. It's got some support here, but it's got about $4 or $5 in it. And BBY. Yeah, BBY. I like the volume on this one too. All right. Let's now go through the long side. And folks, this is being broadcast live on YouTube right now. If you guys missed any of it, there's a link you can get and you can just rewind it. Just FYI. Merck, BIIB. eBay. Yes, eBay. Actually, I think we put eBay. We put eBay somewhere, right, Matt?
Did. Quick strike.
Yeah, yeah. I like the price action on it. eBay looks good. AEO looks good. Really, Matt, you got an A line right here. AEO.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye on it, okay?
Yep.
CNQ. Got a nice little A line right here, too. CNQ. You got XOM. Very choppy stock. Be careful. Look how choppy it is. Got to be careful with this baby. It's a choppy one. We got Dollar General. Very nice look. Very nice look. Very, very, very nice look. I may want to engage with this stock. Actually. Nice look. And last but not least, Micron. Looks really good. Volume isn't great, but overall the stock looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice bounce back because it came into the open down 1%.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Roger, just want to double check something. Did you mention Merck on the longs, or did I mishear that?
No, it was I think it was my first one.
Oh, Merck. Okay, good. Because I want to.
No, you got it right. Merck and BIIB, they're both healthcare, but they're both on my list.
Thank you, buddy. I just wanted to make sure I had that because I'm going to share this with everybody in the room. If you would like to know the
Yeah, I really
stocks.
like, and out of this list, in case you're curious, I really like AEO a lot. I like Dollar General a lot, and I like Micron a lot. I'm talking about like right now. Oh, thanks for posting that, Raleigh. I do appreciate it. Okay, now I got some really good stuff for you guys for today. So first, let me answer some good questions. Everybody likes good questions. 1 second here. I want to answer some questions and show you. And by the way, if you think this only applies to small caps, then you're going to miss out on something right now. Okay. So you really are, because this apply not right now, but in a few minutes, I'm going to teach you something that applies equally to my morning levels, to the VWAP levels, to daily eight day moving average on a daily chart, VWAP on an intraday chart, my morning levels on the SPY charts, and overnight highs on the small caps. So whatever you trade, you should listen because it'll apply to you. So don't go, I don't trade small caps. This doesn't apply to me. Yeah, it does. It does. This applies to all of you. Okay. So first off, why did I launch listen and listen good. Why did I launch the small cap service? Okay. Well, the reason I launched the small cap service is because a lot of you guys get intimidated by options. Okay. A lot of you guys have small accounts. Okay. And can't afford them. And a lot of you guys, you don't like too many moving parts. That's why. Also, I don't want to have all my services dependent on the S&P 500. Okay. And the problem is all of my services till now have been dependent on the market. Take the pit, for example. What do? We gauge price against the SPY. What do we trade in other services? Large caps. What are large caps impacted by? The broad market, right? Which is fine. I mean, I've been trading this way for over, it'll be 32 years next week. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to show you that my job is always to show you guys and the other ways to make money consistently over time. Now, I've been trading this way for about 4 years now for myself. And I've been publicly testing it for about 6 months and with you guys for the last 4.5 months. But I haven't been really giving you out any, I've been kind of doing it on my own. Yeah, as Nate just said, sometimes large caps will just not do anything. But like right now, next couple of weeks, large caps, holidays, right? Institutions, algos. It's all algo. It's all algo nonsense. Well, do you think small caps are driven by algos? No. There's no algos in small caps. They're too small for hedge funds. They're too small. So you're competing with other people like you. So all you have to worry about being a better trader than most of the other guys out there. Now, think about this for a second. Put me against put me the way you know me against most traders out there on Wall Street, the average guy on Wall Street. How do you think I'll fare against him? You'll see. As you've seen in the last 4 months, we've done very, very well without me even looking at them or monitoring them or doing anything, just giving you the entry levels. All right. We've been killing pretty much every service on Wall Street with just me giving you the entry signals because they're not dependent on the market. As a matter of fact, the market could be crashing and a company could be bought out for $50 million and it's going to triple in value. They don't have anything to do with large caps. They don't have anything to do with algos. They don't have anything to do with any of the things they don't have anything to do with the market. They're on their own. And a lot of people like that, and they like more of a mechanical approach. So the reason I launched this service is not to just give you another service with a different name that pretty much does the same thing. But what I did was I wanted to create something really unique, something that you could trade with that gives you complete diversification. Remember I tell you diversification is the only free lunch Wall Street will give you? Well, these stocks have no correlation to the market. They zero, none whatsoever. I don't even look at the market in order to do what I'm going to do on them. I look at VIX, but I don't look at the market, okay? Because what happens is if VIX gets higher, people get scared and they don't get it, they get less bullish, and they don't get as retail traders. But otherwise, and that happens a few times a year. But otherwise, it doesn't matter what the market does, okay? Now, why do technical indicators? How come technical indicators don't? Well, how about this? We already know why most technical indicators don't work on large caps, right? We already know. I've explained this a gazillion times because they're lagging. They were invented 100 years ago. You guys already know they were made for the commodities markets back in the 70s. You've heard the spiel 100 times, but there are some that do work, right? Like moving averages, for example. Moving averages work on large caps. 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average, the VWAPs, all that stuff works. Why doesn't it work on small caps? Can anybody answer that question? How come technical indicators do not work on small caps? David says volume. Nah, it's nothing to do with volume. Volume is the only thing that works, volume and price. But can you tell me why? You're not answering my question. Event driven. Okay, it's event driven. Yes, right. Thank you. David is answered and Brent answered. They're not driven by institution. They're not driven by institutions. And if they're not driven by institutions, then what's the point of using indicators that institutions rely on? You see my point? You see, the reason we use the 50-day moving average is because institutions use it as a gauge to compare whether they should continue buying a stock or not. Okay? Well, there's no institutions here. This is the Wild West. The hell do I need to use a 50-day moving average for? Understand? So they don't work. The only indicators we use are indicators to help us gauge what institutions are doing with large caps, right? Trading above the 8-day moving average is remember there's a VWAP there, anchored VWAPs. This is all to determine what are institutions doing. What are institutions doing? There's no institutions here. Indicators don't work. There's no indicators. Multiple time frame analysis. Daily. And Matt's going to set up a workspace for me, so he should be listening to what I'm asking you right now. And that workspace is going to have the daily. It's going to have the 15-minute. It's going to have the 5-minute. And it's going to have the 1 minute. All right? All right. And it will not have any indicators on them at all. No indicators. Okay, zero indicators. Now, so we trade them completely differently. We trade them completely differently. Okay. See, you guys thought it's always the same thing. So let me explain to you the process for how I do this. Okay. I will be looking at the morning, and I'll be looking at stocks that there's some event that happened with these stocks that's making these stocks extremely attractive to investors. Okay, extremely attractive to investors. Okay, a takeover, a buyout, a new patent that's going to change the world, and I don't want to see a little move or a little bump. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like the biggest day in history. So just to give you an example, let me show you some of the ones we're looking at. A drug approval is perfect, Ralph. Just to give you an idea. Okay, look at the volume on this stock. It's 4 million, right? Okay. Have you ever seen volume of that on this stock? No. Average volume on the stock is 21,000. It's got 4 million today. Okay. I'm just giving you, we made money on this one today. Okay. Look at the volume on this stock. Now it has high volume sometimes, right? It does. But it never had volume this big. 63 million, right? The average volume on this baby is 3 million. When I say big volume, big event, I mean like the biggest thing that's ever happened to the company. You understand? Capiche? That's why it doesn't matter what the S&P is doing, because this company is in its own bubble for the next 2 days, 3 days. 2-3 days. No more than that. 2 or 3 days. And then it's going to revert back to the rest of the market. Let me continue. I'm just kind of giving you a little taste. RPGL. Here's RPGL. Hey, you know what? Wait a minute. This one hit too. How come I didn't get a signal on this thing? What the hell's going on here? It was supposed to hit at 60 cents. Oh. I excluded it because it was less than $1. That's why. I excluded it because it was less than $1. But I gave it to you in the morning. Here. Yeah, I gave it to you guys. I gave it to you in the morning. Here's
because you're focused on like $1 to $20 stocks, something like that, Roger.
Yes. Here, let me show you. Yeah, I gave it to you in the morning. I wrote it right here. I have it and I never gave it to you. Sorry about that. Okay, but this is a perfect example. I tried not to go below $1. In this case, it would have been a big winner. But anyway, do you see the kind of volume we're talking about? 316 million. The average volume is is 5 million. Big volume, big event, the biggest event it ever had, enough to make it do this kind of crap. Okay. Here's another one. Now here's one that we made money on. SOPA. Look at the volume. 89 million. It had volume like that 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But I mean, that kind of event, huge volume, biggest volume. Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. I like
it's a one-off. Yeah,
it's a one-off thing. It's a one-off thing. You give me a break. Hey, you would have made 30% on that stock if you took it. So it's all good. But I'm just showing you the kind of volume. And then if it takes out the pre-market high, I'm going to go in with my first shot. Okay. In other words, we're going to go in with half of our position. Okay. Now, it has to do something to make our second position, and that has to satisfy one of the 5 conditions. I have never shown this to anybody, and I'm going to show this for you. And I think this is going to be the coolest thing I've ever shown anybody, because a lot of you will sit here and say, I can't believe I've never figured this out for myself. And most importantly, I can't believe nobody's ever talked about this before. This is the most amazing shit I've ever seen in my life. I hope that's the reaction you're going to get. Maybe it won't be, but so what I did was this. I like to think in terms of computers because I like to make everything as computerized as possible, right? Okay, so here, let me do one better. Just want to take a blank sheet. Okay, so this right here, now you're probably going to say, what the hell is he talking about right now? Okay, but pay attention. This applies to you. I don't care what you trade. I don't care what time frame you trade. I don't care what asset you trade. You need to pay attention to this. This will answer two questions for you. What I'm trying to do here is kill 10 birds with one stone, and I've done it actually. So just pay attention, okay? So let me how do we have a true confirmation? How do we have a true price confirmation? Is the question. Well, you're probably saying it depends. Are you talking about a daily chart? Are you talking about an 8-day EMA? Are you talking about a VWAP? What are you talking about? All of them. See this line? If you trade daily charts, pretend this is a daily resistance level. If you trade the VWAP, pretend this is a VWAP. If you day trade my SPY levels, pretend this is my SPY level. And finally, if you trade the high flyers, pretend this is the pre-market high. Are we all on the same page before I continue? This is a resistance line. This is a resistance line. A resistance line. Okay? And it applies to whatever line you want it to be. Okay? I want to make sure because if you don't understand what I'm saying right now, then you're not going to understand the next part. I want to make sure you guys understand this. So please say yes so I can move on. Otherwise, we'll be here for the next 10 minutes and I'll be sitting here looking at you.
You got a lot of yeses.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. So we want to buy, what is a resistance line? A resistance line, like here's a real this is the actual resistance line right here for this stock, okay? But here we're playing with a resistance line. Okay. And I don't care if you're using a 3-second resistance line or if you're using a weekly resistance line. I'm going to teach you how to play resistance line right now. So here is the problem. The problem is you guys, and I've said this many times, but nobody ever listens to anything I say. I always tell you guys, it's not where you end up. It's how you get there. Okay? And I found that there's only 5 ways to get here. Now, what if you can identify each of the 5 ways to get here? Wouldn't it be amazing? Because then you would be able to quantify the probabilities of each one working out. Does that sound interesting? Think about this. Imagine if somebody actually took the time to quantify and identify every type of price action before we hit resistance. It's pretty cool, right? So, without further ado, and I hope you have some. Now, if you're in the High Flyers Club, you don't have to write any of this down. Trust me, we'll be talking about this plenty. But if you're not, then you should pay attention, especially if you're not in the High Flyers Club. So, what happens? Okay, scenario number 1. Price flags and then breaks. Right? Isn't that the scenario number 1?
Yep. And that's one that you talk about with the major indexes every day.
I do, don't I? Okay. You finally have a breakout. Well, here's your first breakout you buy. If you have a flag below this, wait for price to consolidate here for about 5 to 15 minutes. And you wait for it to take out this high to go long. This dictated this. So write this down and don't ask any stupid questions. A shallow flag. First resistance first resistance area is a shallow flag. Folks, I'm giving you real red meat. I'm giving you things that you will ask for when when you realize you're at the level of being a professional trader and you come back, you'll be like, "Hey, this is some really crazy shit that Roger just showed us." So pay attention. Nobody's going to show you this. Okay. Shallow flag. Shallow flag. Prior to resistance, okay? I'm going to delete this right now. Erase all of this. Okay. Can't believe we only have 600 people in here and 111 on you. We only have 700 people here, and I'm showing these people like the most coolest thing they'll ever learn. Second way to get to resistance. You ever see a price action where it just bolts up to resistance, right? Like this? That's called the late stage momentum. So first you had a flag, right? Now you don't have a flag. You just have you're here already, but you're already touching this area. You've already here. You've already penetrated this, but without flagging, right? So all of this momentum came up, okay? What you want to do is you want to wait for price to come down here, build a base, and come down here, and that's your second entry. It's your first entry, that's your second entry. And this is your stop loss right here, okay? And your profit target is the distance between this two, add it up here. And then second profit target is up here. We'll talk all about that. Just for now, know your entries. You see how the type of price action leading to the resistance dictated where I take up, how I trade this area right here. You understand? So if you had a flag, you would wait for a breakout, then you would wait for a pullback, and then you would trade above that breakout. But if you just have a run up here, you take the run up right away, and then you wait here for your second. See the difference? The way price behaved leading up to resistance dictates how we trade the pattern. What? Nobody ever taught me that. I don't understand. How come that's none of the technical trading books I've ever Nobody's going to teach you this stuff, folks. And I'll explain to you how I did all this. It'll explain to you in a few minutes. So the first one is a shallow flag. The second one is a price action running up here and just breaking right through. Okay. Let me ask you guys, we got 3 more left. Is this beneficial to you? Have you ever thought about the market this way? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Let's do the next one. How about this one? Oops. How about you have a strong breakout? It just flows right through here without giving you a chance, a pause, right? So far, we've covered, it runs. Oh, it stops. So far, we've covered, it runs and flags. And now we have a third one. It runs up, but it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't
punches
stop.
right through. Yep.
What do? How do we trade this? How does it work? You know what's amazing, Raleigh? Nobody here has ever thought about this.
But you know what's interesting? We've all experienced it.
Yes, every time. But nobody said, hey, can you quantify this? Maybe there's a way to actually quantify this stuff. Nobody has. You wait for a pullback to the base, like this. You wait for this for your entry, your first entry. And then you wait for a breakout here for your second, a confirmation for your second entry right there. Your stop loss would be right below here. This dictates your stop loss. This dictates your stop loss. This dictates your stop loss. how you got here dictates your stop loss, your profit target, and everything else about the trade, but you've never been taught anything about it before. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
So many great teachers out there, right?
Yeah, because if we look at the last one, Roger, that takes a lot of discipline not to FOMO that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to teach you every way. So now you need to listen and listen good. Folks, are you getting benefit out of this so far? I want to know.
Oh yeah, Roger. They want you to keep going. Take all the time you need.
Yeah, I bet. We don't have that much time, unfortunately. But how about the next one? So I've shown you it wants to run up like a mother and it doesn't pause. It runs up just enough to tease us. It comes up in flags. But there's two others. There's two others, yes. The classic breakout fake out. Breakout, that comes down here. What do you do? How do you act? How do you trade this? Got a bake out and a shakeout. Basically, it's this pattern, but it goes underneath this area. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't stop here. It breaks out, but it goes below, not up here. It's a deep, deep, deep pullback. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You wait for price to come back. That's your first entry. You wait for your second entry right here. And your stop is below this entry right there. So you don't trade this at all. If you see this, like this, so that's number 4. I'll go through them quickly again before we conclude. So here's your resistance area, right? Yeah, I'd like to see Warrior Trading teach you guys this stuff. So the first one was, woo, it ran up too fast. But see, it stopped here. It didn't stop previously. Understand?
Yep.
But in this case, we ran up. Woo! We broke. We need to establish support first. So there's 5 ways. There's 5 ways price will behave around here. Okay? Oh, the lights went out, Matt. So the first one, let me just kind of really quickly go through this with you. The first one, again, I just want to be really real. Oh, and the last one, I didn't give you the last one. The last one, that's 4. And the last one is a deep pullback, a deep flag instead of a shallow flag. For that, you need to just wait for price to get above the area. That's for your first one, and then you treat it like a shallow pullback like that. So
and Roger, just to confirm here, this can be used on small caps, it can be used on large caps, and this is largely looking at what? Day trading charts?
This has
Intraday
nothing
charts?
to do with time. This has nothing to do with price, and this has nothing to do with assets.
Perfect. It's
Roger, how do we trade those intraday levels you give us in the morning on the SPY?
there you go.
I just gave you 5 ways to trade it the right way with confirmations. Roger, we don't day trade the SPY. You're a silly goose. We swing trade the 8-day EMA pullbacks on the A line. I just gave you 5 ways to trade that. Well, we don't do that either, Roger. We trade small cap high flyers, the pre-market high. That's your resistance area right there.
There's your resistance area.
You guys
right
understand
there.
what I'm saying? I just gave it to you for whatever. I don't care what you trade. I just gave you the Holy Grail. I just gave you the 5 different ways a price action sets up and how to confirm that, because I got so sick and tired of you asking me, how do you trade these levels? 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 So not only did I give them to you, I codified them for you. See, I don't just watch TV when I get home. I actually spend time helping you guys. All right. So basically, I'm not going to get into the solution, but here's the problem. You guys are always looking for confirmations of trend of breakouts. This is a resistance area that will hopefully become support. How do you confirm it becoming support? Well, it depends on, does price do this before getting above? 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 Those are the only 5 things price can do.
Right. And Roger, does this also work on the flip side? For example, if you're looking to short something?
Yeah, it works exactly the same. I just don't want to teach it to the short side because people will be really confused. And I don't want
No,
to.
but you could actually turn it on its head and it's the same thing if you're looking, essentially, if you're looking to trade short below support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic, my man.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was to show you how to find confirmations, no matter what time frame you. I wanted to give you guys a nice little New Year's gift. So I wanted to show you how wanted to show you the only 5 ways to trade resistance because there's no other way price can move towards it. You see, look, think about this for a second. Yes, I actually gave this some thought. Look, it goes up, doesn't break through, and it consolidates here, right? That's one. It goes up here without any price movement and just stops. Doesn't consolidate. It just comes right through and stops right after it passes it. That's 2. Tell me if there's another way. It goes fast, but stops here, consolidates and goes up. It goes through, but then it comes down again, and then it goes up. And finally, it comes up, but it doesn't consolidate shallow. It consolidates like this. That's the only 5 ways. There's no other way. It consolidates wide. It consolidates narrow. It runs up and doesn't break. It runs up and breaks, but doesn't break down. It breaks up and then breaks down. Can you name any other way?
No.
Yes, Jim, obviously. And identify them and name them. And maybe even if you behave yourself, maybe even give you a PDF you can put on your wall so you can memorize it. And no, I'm not joking. I'm being serious about that.
Be a good mouse pad.
But this is not a high flying service. This is VIP room.
Right.
There's a lot of good things to come. Remember, Jim, I told you paying VIP would be worth your money and time about 5 years ago. Remember, Jim? So that's how we're going to be trading confirmations in the high flyers program. Now, what I just showed you doesn't just apply to high flyers. It applies to absolutely anything you trade. Now, how do you identify these levels? If you're looking at intraday data, use 1-minute bars. If you're using daily data, use 15-minute bars around those areas. All right? Jim says worth every shekel, I bet. Now, I know, Jim. I know. Only good things to come. Only good things to come. Now, I'm going to have an official Turning Point class right now. And I'm actually going to talk about some of the things that they gave you guys a worksheet yesterday, but that worksheet had 5 words. So I'm going to bust out with the real worksheet, and I'm going to go over it with you the right way. All right. So hey, let me ask you guys: have you ever read a book on technical analysis where they showed you 5 ways to confirm resistance or support? And identify each one so you could figure out which area you should be looking at and buying? I just did. And I didn't charge you anything for it. Now think about this. Imagine you've been trading for 10 years and you're sitting here and you're going, that's amazing, but how come I've never learned that? How come I never even understood that? How come I never even thought about this? Haven't you ever, remember me saying how you got there matters? This is what I was talking about, how you get somewhere. See, we all got to that level, right? No, how you got to that level determines how you're going to play that level. Michael, I don't need to write a book. If I write books, it's going to be about cults and stuff like that. I don't need to write a book about this.
You're doing a TV series. It's a lot better.
Yeah, I don't need, yeah, exactly. So you see, like in this case, So anyhow, the point is, and so if you see me saying we're using confirmation method one or we're using confirmation, and I'll identify each one of them, you'll know exactly what I'm looking for to confirm a trade. And and hopefully Matt and I will start using those confirmation levels in all our other programs because they really allow you to codify your entry. And I'm hoping Matt actually paid attention and he can start using some of those ideas when he enters his trading zone trades. Right, Matt?
Yep.
Pretty good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, have I ever talked to you about that stuff before?
Besides this morning, no.
See? I'm disclosing more goodies. All right. Because you know what? I never codified it. I never codified it till now. I never thought about it in terms of a computerized, but I guess it makes sense. All right, we're going to do something very, very cool. I just gave you that was a joke, Zoom user. Probably write a book about underwater basket weaving. Okay.
Could be 3 volumes.
Right. I'm going to show you guys a really cool class right now, and I'm going to talk about Turning Point, and we're going to talk about these high flyers. This is going to be really, really fun, very exciting, and maybe even educational. I hope you guys. One second. I want to maybe put a trade in.
Yeah, and also, I don't know. Let's let the YouTube folks know that we're going to be shutting down YouTube, and if they would like to hear the rest of this presentation, they need to come into this Zoom room.
Exactly. They need to start zooming along with us.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at a stock that I really like right now. And I would have taken it, but for us being here, which is not really an excuse, but I really do like it. I'm going to put a little alert on it right now. Now I'll just watch it. It's all good. I'm starting to like the market here. Notice something interesting, by the way. Look at how the market bounced right off the 8-day EMA. Coincidence, right?